We are now live.
Hi, we are
Hey.
now live. Yay! Hey, Keith.
Hey, Mary Mitchell.
Hey, everybody.
Hi,
So I'm
everybody.
Mary, um, and I'm the founder of ASTEP, Artists Striving to End Poverty, and I have purple hair right now.
Mary Mitchell
That's
has
one
purple hair.
exciting. Yeah, it's a pandemic color. Um, so we are here today to introduce ourselves and talk about this new series that we're launching. So I'm a music director and conductor and pianist and music person. I do a lot of Broadway things. And I started this nonprofit that uses the arts working with kids around the world to transform their lives. This is my friend, Dr. Keith Bell.
Hi, everybody. My name is Keith Bell. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine coming to you from Richmond, Virginia, where I have a practice where I focus on holistic health and integrative medicine. So combining traditional Chinese medicine with conventional Western medicine, working in an integrative setting. And I love, Mary Mitchell, that you said I do stuff on Broadway. You do
Well, I
everything on
do. I do
Broadway.
stuff on Broadway. I, I've done a few shows. And Keith and I met, uh, we realized today, we met in 2016 when I was doing a concert in Maine, Portland, Maine, if I recall.
Portland, Maine.
Is that
Yep.
correct?
It was Portland, Maine. Yep.
Yes. Portland, Maine. We were in Portland, Maine, and he came to see a concert that I did with Kristen Chenoweth, and we became fast friends. And he's had to deal with me ever since.
We did become fast friends. We realized that we grew up in the same area, so about 58 miles from each other. So yeah, we
Other.
connected there. And then you told me about artists striving to end poverty. And uh, my practice here, we've always had kind of a rule of thumb that we always give back, so we're medical practice, the traditional Chinese medicine practice. And one of the things that we always give back to are children, children in need, and artists. Because let's face it, being an artist can be a difficult life, a lot of work, very little money. So we give
It
back.
can be. It can be, for sure. Um, so let's talk about the intention behind the series. So the series is called Wellness Wednesdays, and the idea is that we're going to go live every Wednesday for 20 minutes ish to
20
chat
minutes each.
about um, wellness. But the intention, I think, came from both of us. Actually, it was originally your idea, Keith, if I recall. But I have recently become extremely passionate about this because every day I feel it is getting harder and harder for a lot of people, at least in the artistic community and in the community at large, to navigate mental health as we are isolated a lot of the time and we're sort of feeling anxious, and some of us are feeling depressed. And yesterday there was the announcement that Broadway will definitely not be reopening until at least after Labor Day in September. So that took a lot of people, um, was a heavy hit for a lot of people. So I think we're just feeling it from all around us.
Right. And for a lot of people, it's more than stress. This is actually traumatizing. And, going back to our original intention, when I learned about artists striving to end poverty, I thought, hey, let's bring in the healing arts to the creative arts. I mean, the creative arts are already healing, and we're going to talk a little bit about that more, but introducing some fantastic leaders in the field of the healing arts. So Wellness Wednesday, our intention is to bring together experts from the field of the healing arts and creative arts so we can help people maintain this wellness. But you're right. Things are getting crazy and people are being thrown off balance, and it's not just mental health, it's emotional health, it's physical health. And that's what wellness is about. What a lot of people don't realize is that the Global Wellness Institute, defines wellness as an active pursuit of activities, choices, and lifestyle that lead to a state of holistic health. So, that's our intention, is to combine the arts and medicine so that we can present people with practical tools that they can gain insight and perspective, that we can focus on that part of us is out of balance, whether it's our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health, our health as a community, and our health as our environment.
Yes. And what I love about what that definition is by calling it active, there's an element of it where it gives us some choice in the matter, which I feel like these kinds of situations like we're in right now feel very disempowering. So to find ways in which we get to feel that we are making an active choice to protect our mental health and emotional health and spiritual health. And by having like easy ways to do that, I think that's really important right now.
Yeah, simple ways. Some of them we're going to find are not all that easy, but they are simple, you know? It does.
Mhm.
The things that we're going to introduce people to, like breathing techniques and mindfulness techniques and meditation and nutrition, um, they are simple things that we can change because we know from a positive psychology and social psychology that one of the most stressful things in our lives is when we don't feel like we have control. So part of what my intention is, and I know your intention too, is to help people find some sense of control, whether it be through breathing, information that they look at, foods that they eat, and exercises that they do.
Yeah, and establishing routines, finding ways to like combat the feeling of things being out of control schedule wise. There's a lot of components to that that I think are really helpful as well.
There's a lot of components, you know, and holistic health, you know, in conventional medicine setting, health is defined simply as the absence of disease. You know, that's how we define health. But we're going to be looking at well-being. We're going to be looking at wellness. We want people to thrive. We want people to find an area of their life that they can be well, that they can be comfortable, that they can feel like they have some type of control.
So we're aiming higher than just the absence of disease.
We're aiming way higher than
We're
just the
aiming way
absence.
higher.
That's
All
right.
right.
Yeah, and then again, you know, well-being is about something greater than just us. It's a relationship. It's our relationship to our mind, our bodies, our spirit, our friends, and the world. And you know, right now with everybody being cut off, our relationships are now this. It's a Zoom meeting.
Right. Right.
It's a Zoom
This is
meeting.
our connection. This is our time for connection. Yeah.
And our connection to the earth is definitely got to be off because I mean we have killer hornets coming after us for God's sakes.
The murder hornets.
Murder.
Yes. I feel like when I read that, I was like, 2020, you have gone too far.
you,
You have gone too far.
you have gone too far. And again, you know, this is traumatizing for a lot of people. It's more than just stress. And stress and trauma accumulate, and they don't just accumulate in the mind, they don't just accumulate in your emotions, they actually accumulate in the body. And so, in order for us to process stress and trauma and transform it into purpose and wellness, we have to do something. Again, that comes that wellness defined. We have to pursue activities, choices, and lifestyles that actually foster well-being and and health. And so, you know, you have to do something physical daily or the stress accumulates. And science
Mm,
shows us that the number one way to actually break the stress response is to do a physical activity, physical movement, yoga, dance, jumping up and down, go for a run, go for a walk, some type of physical movement. Second is learn to control your breath, because if you can control your breath, you can control your nervous system. So breathing is very important to break the stress response. But
great.
creativity is number three, and that's what artists are great at. Artists are great at taking situations and transforming them into something bigger. And I would love for you to talk about that.
Well, absolutely. I remember when this whole thing first started, we at ASTEP were talking and we were saying, or at least I was saying, let's not forget that we are the same people who can make almost anything out of duct tape. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you're in a situation where, and that's why I love like stage managers so much because they're so inventive when it comes to just like, give me some duct tape and I will like build you a set. Like
Right.
they have this like magical ability to do things with articles that just you would not expect it from. But there is an ability to, I think, reinvent and sort of to to be able to pivot in a way that is about healing and about survival in a certain capacity, which I think is one of the things that we're sort of all facing is the trauma around survival. One of the great things about ASTEP that we do is we do so much basically art therapy, even though it's really arts education programming. But you know, when you have visual art projects that are helping tell your story for a kid to tell their story through art, makes that they're processing what happened to them, and they're sort of able to see it in a way that through a lens that they'd never seen it before. And they can take, you know, anytime we ask them to do writing assignments, they usually write about things that they know about, and sometimes it is trauma
Right.
because they can talk about it in a play. If they don't want to talk about it with you one on one, they'll write about it. And so I think there's something amazing about the way that arts accesses those parts of us, even when we don't understand why they're happening or how it's happening. Which is one of my favorite things about you, which is that I know the arts components, but you know the science. Like you can explain to me why that's so
What
healing.
exactly? And and talking about, that's the science and the medicine, but there's also the healing arts. And when people come to a person who practices healing arts, we do the same thing in that basically we take the negativity, we take the trauma, we take the drama, we take the anxiety and depression, and we transform it into its virtues. And we help people energetically learn how that they can take these these traumatic events and transform them into purpose through using, an energetic mechanism. And you take me back at one point for 4 years, I taught a thinking skills course in a university here in Virginia, but they put me in integrated science and technology course, and um, we had to teach engineers how to think like artists.
Yes.
We had to teach engineers how to,
Think like an
because
artist. You have to improv.
you have to improv, because this Western society, we have this dualistic mind thought that things are either right or wrong, black or white, creative or destructive, artist or scientist. But we know when you study thinking skills, there's so many ways to access knowledge so that you can transform, because the more knowledge we have, the more perspective. And so creativity and art is one way. When you are transforming trauma through the arts, that expression touches other aspects of us other than just our thinking, logical, rational brain. It touches our heart. And again, that's holistic, the way that we know, the way that we gain information is not just from scientific knowledge. It's not just reading reason and knowledge, but we get it through myth. We get it through culture. We're born with ways of knowing, and we get it through intuition. And
Mm.
so I don't even really know where I was going here, except that I'm excited that we're combining the science
Yeah, I
and the
think it's very
creative art.
cool to be able to bring the creative side, but also to understand why the nervous system responds to these creative things the way it does. That to me
Right.
is very fascinating because I can feel the effects, but until you know, the moments when you've explained it to me is when I go, oh, right. And in a certain way, it deepens the work because I understand it from two different views.
It does. I mean, you think of color is vibration. Um, Music notes are vibration. They all have a specific vibration, and we're going to talk about this in a few minutes. We do a breathing technique, but each one of our organ systems vibrates to a different resonance. The liver, the gallbladder, the spleen, the pancreas, the heart, they all vibrate to a different um, rate.
Mm,
And did you know that each music note will touch a specific organ? Now, I'm going to gather that information. We're going to talk about that in one of these Wellness Wednesdays, but you can use those notes to actually bring the body back into balance, bring the mind, bring the spirit for wellness.
amazing. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about anything involving music.
I know you are, and harmony. I mean, basically, wellness is harmony. It's being in harmony
Harmony with
with
yourself.
our environment,
Mm.
with ourselves. Yes. But you are the expert in musical harmony.
Musical harmony, I know. Internal harmony, I am in process. I am a student of internal harmony.
We're gonna
Very
do.
much so.
Well, hey, you
I'm gonna learn.
you're gonna we're all gonna learn. We're gonna learn together. You want to learn some breathing techniques?
I would love to learn some breathing
We're
techniques.
gonna learn some breathing techniques. So you a few minutes ago talked about survival mode.
Yes.
So when we're in survival mode, our nervous system is hyperactive and we actually are responding to events unconsciously. When we're in survival mode, we enter fight, flight, or freeze. So you'll see a lot of people are frozen. They don't know what the hell to do because they feel a lack of control. People are trying to run, people are trying to fight. We're seeing a lot more fights right now and confrontation. So this is survival mode. Survival mode activates the nervous system in a way that makes us act without thinking. And
Mhm.
so, one simple breathing technique when you're in survival mode is simply take an inhale, but exhale twice as long as you inhaled. So, it can be to the count of 3 and 6, the count of 5 and 10. It just depends on how strong your lungs are. But
Mhm.
this is a lot of people practice this breathing technique and don't realize it actually affects that mode, the survival mode. So take a deep breath in through the nose to the count of 3 and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So inhale through the nose to whatever count it is and exhale through the mouth. So this specific type of breathing actually activates and calms the nervous system and takes us out of that fight or flight mode. So that's a really simple technique. Again, you just want to make sure you inhale through the nose to the count of whatever and exhale through the mouth and double the count. So it can be 2 if you don't have deep breaths, 2 and 4, 3 and 6, 6 and 12. Advanced meditators, it may be 30 and 60.
Goodness. Okay.
Simple technique. You should already be able to feel your nervous system calm.
Yes, I do.
But here's what I want to introduce you to that I'm excited about introducing you to, because this next technique is when you're stuck in an emotion. And a lot of us are stuck in specific emotions right now, again, because we're responding to stress and traumatic events. And what's important here is to realize that we are not our emotions. It's
Mm.
important to acknowledge the emotion. So if you're feeling an emotion, name it and acknowledge it, but you can also let it go. You can transform it. And so I'm going to give you 5 quick sounds because, again, remember I said that stress is stored in the body and
Yes.
you need to do something physical. So
I
when
get
you want to transform a negative or an uncomfortable emotion, one of the ways to do that is when you exhale, you have a sound to go with it.
okay.
And that sound actually vibrates the body in different ways. It vibrates the nervous system.
Okay.
So if you're stuck in anger or frustration or resentment, the sound is shh. So it's like
Really?
telling somebody to hush. Yes. Shh. So what you
Not
do,
expecting that.
you weren't expecting that. So
It's not.
tell them, shh, I'm angry. And
Okay.
it actually transforms anger. And anger is transformed also through creativity. So anger, frustration, resentment really responds to the sound of shh. So
Okay.
basically, you take a deep breath in and exhale, shh. And it doesn't have to be loud. You want to do it in groups of 5. So you want to do it 5 times. So
Five
that's
times.
for anger, that's for frustration, resentment.
Okay.
Anxiety.
This is a big one for me.
This is a big one. Anxiety likes the sound ha.
I
You
like it
can
that
do
way.
it better than me. You're a singer. Let me hear your ha.
Ha!
There you go.
I'm sort of more like, singing it, but yeah.
Well, no, it's fine. Sing it and vibrate it. Feel it in your chest. Give us one more time. Take a deep breath in and let me hear your ha.
Ha!
5 times. That's really good at
Okay.
transforming
Excited.
anxiety. Worry and obsessiveness. A lot
Okay.
of people are
Another big
worried right now.
yeah.
The sound for that is whoa, whoa. So like WOE. So take a deep breath in and let's hear your woes.
Whoa.
Perfect.
Okay. Is it
Deep
supposed to
breath.
be on pitch or is it just a noise?
It's just a noise. It's whoa. And you
Got it.
can just say whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, okay.
Feel the vibration.
Mm,
That sound in traditional Chinese medicine and Qigong practices, where we take breath and movement and tones, that sound transforms worry, obsessiveness.
hmm
Now, next one is grief. Grief, sadness, loss. It's all stored in the chest. It depletes our, when we're sad and we're grieving, we can't take a deep breath in. So
Right.
grief really affects the energy in the chest and makes us collapse in. And the sound that transforms grief is it's like a hiss. The tongue goes behind the teeth. You take a
Mhm.
deep breath in and exhale hard through the lungs. Yep. That helps move the energy of the chest. Again, with all of these exercises, you do them in groups of 5. So you take a deep breath in,
I see.
exhale 5 in a row.
Okay.
Fear is the next one. This is our last one.
This is a big
Fear
one.
and phobias are transformed by the sound chew. CHOOO, like choo choo, hoo,
Yeah.
choo choo. When we were kids and the train came and we did choo choo. So take a deep breath in and let's hear your choo.
Choo. I'm still
Now,
picking. Yeah, can't help it.
so when you're doing each of these, do you feel the vibration
Yes.
when you're making a noise? And it vibrates in different areas of the body because our emotions are stored in the body. They're
hmm
stored in different areas of the body. And again, in order to transform traumatic events and stress, you want to do something that actually shakes the body. You can jump up and down, you can go for a run. After a trauma,
You're breaking the cycle.
breaking the cycle. And you want to do these daily because, again, stress accumulates. And so you want to have a daily practice where you break the stress cycle. And it can be done breathing, sound, movement, and creative arts.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you. So next Wednesday, I believe we are going to have our special guest is going to be, we will announce this for sure, but I believe our special guest is going to be Sierra Bogus,
Yay.
Broadway performer Sierra Bogus, who has a lot of experience to bring to the table. Um,
And we're going to
so
be talking about affirmations next week, right?
we are going to talk about affirmations. She knows a lot about affirmations. She's a very inspiring person.
And I'll talk about how affirmations actually rewire your brain.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Can't wait to hear that
Can't
science.
wait to hear that.
All right. Thank you so much, Keith.
Thank you, Mary Mitchell. Are we done?
I think we're done.
We're done for our first Wellness Wednesday.
We're done for our first Wellness Wednesday. I'll see you here next week.
Be well, everybody.
Thank you.